On this episode of Taskforce Geek, we welcome comic writer Ronald Christian and talk about his project Paragon Prime. We'll also talk about the new Rocketeer on Disney Plus and how Marvel writer Jim Shooter signed away Secret Wars and Venom for $10,000. And that's all coming up now. Welcome to Taskforce Geek. My name is Dirk Hooper, and today I am joined by Scott.
Howdy.
And Shawn.
Yep.
And our guest, comic writer Ronald Moore.
Hello.
Ronald Christian. Ronald Moore, who was that? The guy who did Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
Ron Moore, yeah.
Is that where my... Yeah, you don't like him, do you?
I hate that guy.
Shawn hates Ronald Moore because he did Battlestar Galactica.
He destroyed my youth.
And it's not exactly the same as it was.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of the reboot either, so you're not
There
wrong.
you go. Well, you and Shawn are going to have a lot to talk about soon. Before we get started, this is the first time that I've been back in a while. I want to thank Scott for filling in for me, and also for Beth, and also Shawn and Walt, and the rest of the gang for helping out on that. I appreciate that deeply. We are looking for guests for Task Force Geek. If you have a Kickstarter, or you are promoting something, whether it's a book or a movie or anything like that, we want to talk to you on the show. Please contact us at taskforcegeek@gmail.com. Next week, our guest is comic writer and artist Michael Pickard, who has 3 comics coming out in the next 2 months, and he has a comic titled Vance Launchpad that looks awesome. I am very excited about that. He is our guest next week, and in 2 weeks we have our fellow Ranking Studios brother Robert Henry and Joe Evans to do a launch party for Bad Candy issue 3, hopefully. He was originally scheduled tonight. Oh, look at this, Benjamin Soto. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir.
It's nice to be back. Oh, here we go. Michelle says Scott's got the romantic atmosphere going.
Yeah,
Your flickering candle.
He's got some candles.
Yeah, I got some mood lighting right here.
I don't care.
I'm
for
all
that
about
so
the
much.
love.
Like,
I'm not trying to impress
What exactly is going on with that?
you. I can't tell you.
You can't tell me?
Come to the wonderful bedroom and find out.
Oh no.
Is that where the magic happens?
Bro. I am the magic. Wherever I'm at, magic happens.
That's very true. It's very, very true.
At least loud voices happen, at least.
I've never been attacked by a headboard without your presence.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. We're moving on. We are broadcasting live on my Facebook account, which is that right there. We're on YouTube, which is that right there, Task Force Geek, and on my Twitter account, which is Dirk Hooper Plus. If you're watching this live, please share it. So your platform becomes our platform. Now is the time to share, so that people see that we're live. That's all the goodies, folks.
All right.
Let's get started with our. Oh my gosh, they have changed this whole thing up since I was on here last. Surprise! Here we go. It's our feature presentation.
When are you going to change those graphics?
Soon.
Slack?
Soon. Again, I haven't been on here in a while. It's amazing that we're operating at all. Ronald Christian is the creator of Paragon Prime, a superhero that he hopes fills that fun, inspirational void that is so desperately needed in the genre. Mm-hmm. This will be a genuine, sincere superhero action adventure about a selfless, hopeful, optimistic, and altruistic hero. His goal is to tell an uplifting, genuine, and sincere story about a true superhero, stories with action and adventure, stories with drama, pathos, but also with levity, comedy, and a lighthearted touch. The stakes will be high at times, but overall, this is a comic book that is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, Ronald Christian.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit more about your character, Paragon Prime, please.
Well, Paragon Prime, I originally created him back when I was playing a lot of DC Universe Online. And I just created this character, and I like the look of him. That was like basically the catalyst of the character. And then I just developed him. I came up with the backstory, superpowers, motivations. I drew inspiration from some of my favorite characters like Superman and Captain America, and Reed Richards and Mr. Terrific. And then it didn't really kick into gear until Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. And to say that I hated that movie is an understatement. I absolutely
you weren't alone on that.
Oh my god, I just hated what he did to Superman. I don't know why I didn't walk out of that movie, but I should have. And then I saw this trend, with the Snyder movies and DC in general, where they took these iconic characters and they just darkened them. There was this deconstruction. They took what someone like Alan Moore did with Watchmen, or what Frank Miller did with Dark Knight and stuff, and they just ran with it, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I just felt that there was this this void that needs to be filled. Like, they no longer want to tell stories about heroes anymore. So I thought, well, you know what, be the change you want to see. I don't really read any current Marvel or DC stuff like for a while. I mean, the last thing that I read really was a lot of the Superman Rebirth stuff that DC did, and that was brilliant. I loved that. I love Superman as a father.
So you did like the Rebirth stuff?
I love the Rebirth stuff.
Okay.
And then Didio came back, and he got Bendis on Superman. He ruined that whole thing, and that was it. I was done. I was done. And I stopped reading Marvel sooner than that, but yeah.
So you have created this character as a response to the kind of darker deconstruction stuff.
Yeah.
That they've done.
Yeah.
I would say that sort of thing happened long before the Man of Steel.
It did, but it was still you're right. It did happen long before the Man of Steel. But
that was the last straw.
That was the last straw. Yeah. At that point, it was negligible. There was still enough of the more positive, iconic version of superheroes.
Right.
Now it's non-existent though. I mean, the closest thing maybe is the Superman and Lois show, which I do love, by the way.
I've heard many people say they like that.
Yeah, that's a solid show.
They like that take.
It's iconic Superman. It's really wholesome. It's really pro-family and pro-heroism. It's really uplifting, But other than that, though, DC, there's a Titans show, and then there's the Harley Quinn show, and a lot of their animated movies have gone really dark and R-rated, and and I'm just like done with it.
I call that the Deadpool effect in a lot of ways, because they're trying something different. Because I don't know, you guys might disagree with me, but to me, some of the
just in general,
the Marvel movies, yeah, in general, like the Marvel movies and stuff like that they're not as dark, so therefore they're kind of fun. And I mean, now we're starting to get real formulaic with all of them, because it's like, oh, you hear people say, oh, it's another Marvel movie. It has the cute animal type character in it. It has this, it has that. But I agree with you. Like, the dark stuff is fine for certain stories and stuff, but DC went all in on trying to make a lot of things dark, at least Hollywood wise. And I didn't enjoy that either. And, as a guy who reads a lot of comic books, I always say, like, I find some old comics from like the 80s or 70s, and I pull them out to read or buy them when I see them in like quarter boxes or dollar boxes, just because it is a different story than what they're telling today. That doesn't mean it's better. I'm not saying I think the writers actually are better today than they were back then, but they tell a more lighthearted stories, and like the good guys are they're really, really good versus, the guys who kind of teeter in between of being good guy or bad guy. So I think there's a place for those type of comics out there, and God knows we don't have enough of those, because we have plenty of the dark brooding things. We don't have enough of the other. So it's kind of nice to see.
Yeah, I feel it's become the rule rather than the exception, which is it was the other way around before, you know?
Right. I mean, I assume this is based off sales, that they get more sales from the brooding dark stuff, but I mean it doesn't always strike a chord with me is what I'm saying. So
yeah, it never strikes a chord with me. I have a vehement issue with it. I just don't like that take on the superhero genre personally. I know plenty of my friends like it, and I've gone to debates about it with buddies of mine. But personally, for me, I have a fundamental problem with it.
I think it was Walt that pointed it out to me that because I'd been complaining to him that everything, movies in general, just seem very cynical, and he pointed out that it really came about around 9/11, which we're about to have our 20th anniversary of, and you'll notice that everything started to take that kind of darker, more as I say, cynical look at the world. So clearly, a lot of people were being being reflective of that situation and how that changed not just America but the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
And our heroes, instead of being very gallant and almost positive in their actions and their drives, suddenly they were faced with this evil that no one had to deal with, and suddenly everybody became very dark, very evil, very sinister. Even our heroes,
ambiguous.
Right? Even our heroes had to be very dark and sinister to a point, and what have you. So I feel that had kind of a tweak, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
to what we're experiencing in comics.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wouldn't have such an issue with that stuff existing if there was more of the other stuff too.
Oh, absolutely.
There's virtually none of it. I mean, you have stuff like Titans and The Boys and Invincible, and
and that's kind of my complaint, is we have become so cynical. We have speared so far in that direction that we need to come back to the middle. We need to get back to the kind of a union, as it were, the gray area, as opposed to all black or all white. We have to get more into the middle of it all, and just find a peaceful place,
a happy medium. Yeah, I mean,
so tell us about the book, because I'm actually excited to hear about this.
Well, right now I'm doing a 15-page mini comic, and then I'm doing that through GoFundMe. I'm doing pretty good. I should hit my goal.
There's the GoFundMe campaign.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna probably do a print run on Indiegogo with the extra pages. And right now I'm working on several scripts for the ongoing, which I'm hoping to ongo. And I have a couple of possible investors interested in funding the rest of the book. So
nice. Do we have an actual website, Dirk or Shawn?
This is the GoFundMe.
Just GoFundMe.com?
No.
Yeah.
Here it is, man.
Well, I think you put the link up earlier, right?
Maybe. I'm behind here. There we are. GoFundMe. 25, 30. Okay.
Yeah. And then I just made this recently. I made this this promo video that I hope a lot of people have been impressed with. So, and that took a lot of hard work. I didn't put it on here because for whatever reason, GoFundMe doesn't allow videos or whatever.
How rude.
Yeah, it's weird. So
They don't allow videos?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'll try again and see if I can put the video up on there. But
it's a shame that we can't see the artwork, because and I want to talk to you about the guy who's doing the artwork here.
Oh yeah, Facundo. There's a little bit of the artwork here, but again, GoFundMe.
That's what I'm.
Is there some on that page?
There is a little bit. There's some.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
But
nice.
yeah, he's amazing.
So if you're out there and you're watching this and you don't want to type in all those little numbers and stuff, you can go to GoFundMe.com and you can just search for Paragon Prime.
Mhm.
I think it came up when I just did Prime as well, so that was one of
Okay,
the options.
there you
So
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Art's nice.
Yeah, Facundo is an incredible artist. I found him on ArtStation.
Now, Ronald, this guy doesn't look like me. I mean, like, he's a hero. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like the ultimate hero, and I thought this was a book about me. So
Nah, sorry.
This is
Sorry,
clearly
bro.
Paragon Prime, not Scott Prime.
oh man,
Yeah,
I should make an appearance there, Aaron. I could be the.
but I'm very excited about this book. I mean,
Yeah, there's no goatee,
no goatee, no.
and he has hair.
He has hair.
He has hair too.
Well, that's the difference between a hero and a villain, right there. So, some of us are
Yeah.
angry we don't have hair.
I mean, look, I've seen some artwork for this. There's two things that I like about this project. Number one, I like the idea that because I think there's plenty of room to have a hopeful, just a good guy, a hero. I think that that there's very little of that out there. I think it's out there, but it's not easy to find, and it's certainly not as easy to find as it was maybe back in the, whatever, the 70s or the 80s, and I mean by the 90s,
Yeah.
I think we pretty much made the turn,
Hey, Mom.
and we might be able to talk about maybe having straight good guys maybe in the an animated series like
Well, it's
the
funny you
old
should-
Adventures of Batman.
It's
or-
funny. It's funny you should mention animated series because initially the look of the art for this book is the animated series look.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted. That's
It
what I
looks
told my
like that.
artist. Because probably the biggest influence for me is probably Superman the animated series.
sure.
Mhm.
Nice.
That
Yeah,
is,
I mean, those
that
are-
is-
Those are brilliant.
yeah, that is
I mean-
super. That is super influential to me. Super important, not only in the look of the characters, but in also the way that they told their stories and in the overall narrative of the way that series was done is a huge influence on how I want to tell my stories. So yeah.
So Ronald, just for we've had guests on here before that had like Kickstarters and stuff like that. Can
Thank you,
you
Tubie.
explain the difference between the GoFundMe versus the Kickstarter? Because
Okay, yeah.
if somebody sees this and they go donate $50, I don't know because I've never done a GoFundMe, but I don't think like they necessarily get like a copy of the book or anything. So could you just explain the differences?
Well, yeah. So the GoFundMe funds, I
Little
put
bit.
a goal in there, and then people give money to hit that goal. The reason why I went with GoFundMe was because initially it's going to be a digital release.
Uh huh.
I didn't feel like justified in going to Indiegogo or Kickstarter for a digital only comic.
Right.
Right.
I feel if you're going to go to any of those platforms, you got to go with print. You have a printed version of your comic.
100% agree.
I don't like when campaigns do that, and I don't like when I back some campaigns and they have a digital only tier. I prefer the digital tier to be with a printed tier too. I think this should be a combo. So
I agree 100%. I was complaining about that not too
Yeah.
long ago.
I've backed like more than 50 books on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, so I have experience with all of that.
So just to sum it up, just so people know, the GoFundMe is donating to kind of give you a chance to live out the dream with the plans to eventually continue the book in some format
Yes,
beyond
yes.
digital. So
Beyond digital, I want because this is kind of weird for me, but I'm not a digital guy. I like holding the comic in my hand.
no, that's not weird at all. I know I'm in the age group that doesn't understand, and we just don't understand. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't like reading, on a computer or on a tablet. I like holding the comic in my hand, and turning the pages, and feeling that,
smelling those
material.
pages.
Smelling. Yeah, that is the way to go. So, which is why I'm hoping to eventually have a printed copy of this. And the script is finished. It's really solid stuff. I'm very excited about it. I have a couple of great people helping me out. I'm building a universe too, so it's not just Paragon Prime. I have other characters, and I've found other writers on Twitter that are, really talented writers, and they're working on other characters. So yeah, I'm trying to build a universe here.
Now, how did you find these other writers? Is there like a group, or is there something that you joined, or?
No, I just put up on Twitter, like, I put up the tweet, hey, anybody is interested in helping me develop characters, hit me a DM, and a couple of people hit me DMs, and that was it.
Nice.
Yeah. And I had a couple of pitches, some weren't great, but some were amazing, so, I had them sign contracts, and then they got to work.
So your artist, is he doing? We're all kind of art guys here, so like sometimes I'll do the pencils, and somebody will do the inks, and somebody might do the colors.
Oh, he does all.
He's doing all of it. Okay, is he doing it digitally?
Yes.
Or is this okay?
Yeah.
It looked like it was digital, but
yeah,
you never know.
Let me tell you, this guy's name is
Facundo Moyano.
Moyano.
Yeah. Look him up. He's got an ArtStation page. He's got a DeviantArt page. He's got an Instagram page.
I went to his ArtStation, and his stuff is spectacular.
How do you spell that?
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we make a tag and we can put a banner here? Just keep talking. Spell it slow.
Hang on, I got it.
All right. We're hanging on because Dirk's making
if you guys can go out there and find his deal.
It's with an O, not an A.
Facundo.
Facundo, not Facunda.
Facundo.
Yeah.
That sounds like a martial art.
Wow. And your name sounds like a vacuum cleaner. How's that? Don't you mess with my buddy.
Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
If you guys would run out there and get that, I'd love to show some of his artwork, especially if you can find him on ArtStation.
Yeah, and that was
he has tons of stuff there.
Finding him was kind of a nightmare because I was on like well no not him, like finding an
artist in general.
Yeah, in general
I get it.
was a nightmare. I went through like a 2.5 year just nightmare trying to find the right artist. If I have any advice to give anybody looking, a writer out there who wants to make their comic, don't go to DeviantArt. Don't do it.
Why do you say that? I mean, did you have problems communicating with people, or did they fall through for you? Or
okay, so I got ripped off a couple of times.
I'm sorry.
I sent them money and they never sent me any artwork.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of times once I did find an artist and they came back with with some art. And I had some notes and something, and they couldn't take it because they were prima donnas, and they couldn't take any criticism at all. So they just quit the product. Oh, whatever. Yeah, my artwork is amazing. Bye.
I mean, if you're going to do artwork, you got to take a little criticism, especially. I mean, if you're working with people.
So
if you're doing your own thing, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, that was like a whole just line of like artists like that, and then. Someone recommended ArtStation, and I went on there, and I found Facundo, and he is the most professional, the most communicative. He communicates with me very well. He takes criticism amazingly.
Where's he from?
He's from Argentina.
Argentina. Okay.
Yeah. Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck did I have that and now don't have?
Yeah, and he's incredible. He's
all right. I'm going to bring up his thing. We can talk about him a little bit more.
Yeah, he's a godsend. I mean,
this is all his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shawn, would you click on one of those for us?
Better Bill.
Yeah,
or that one. Or that one.
I mean, that's super awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got a really. Is that sound coming from the? From the video?
No,
that's me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's try to ignore that, please.
All right.
I'm reminding you. YouTube interview.
Nope. My Alexa went off.
I'm reminding you.
This is cool how he shows how to draw.
Yeah. He has a really clean but very advanced style. I mean, it's one of those things that is very easy to, to discount how clean his stuff is and not realize just how good it is.
Well, the thing is, though, that there's no comic book industry in Argentina at all. And you have all of these incredible artists over there that are not getting any work in their own country.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Shawn says his art is amazing.
Yeah, his art is incredible.
Shawn, you want to show us something else there, man?
Yeah.
Do all of these have little videos? This is neat.
I don't know if they all do, but that's a cool Thor one. Yeah. And he's done promotional stuff for DC and Marvel, like, well, obviously with these, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Has he worked for anyone? Is that what you said?
Well, he's done some occasional, like, you know, freelance work for DC and Marvel, but not official.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, his work is, up there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. I mean, I was pretty blown away. I wasn't familiar with him at all. I was very impressed with this stuff.
Yeah, I think he does.
You can see.
Yeah, he does everything. He does colors. His colors are amazing.
Yeah, I would say make sure your relationship is strong so he sticks with you. He's good.
Yeah.
I think that I think that once your comic gets out, he's going to be a hot commodity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for sure.
I've had a couple of people ask me, "Oh, is he available for work?" And I've turned him on to a couple of other creators that are interested in him. So
yeah, I mean, there you go. Stop right there, Shawn. I mean, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the way around, just really good style.
Yeah,
great color. I mean, that is good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
And also the sort of thing that, he's probably. I'm going to guess that he's probably capable and fairly decent on his speed, given the style of work that he's doing there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a godsend, and he's awesome. We have meetings. You're gonna have to start having meetings on the the starting the comic book and stuff like that. So
Ronald, once you hit your goal,
mm-hmm.
how long until we see would we see the product like itself on the wherever digital format?
I'm hoping that by let's see if we could hit our goal. Hopefully by the end of next month, by the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say early next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to do a 15-page mini comic first.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to offer it through Indiegogo.
Well,
is that correct?
No, I'm going to offer it. I'm going to probably go to digital comic hosting site.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and once he builds up his audience, then he's gonna
that's good.
Print.
Yeah.
Look, I think you're doing a few things that's maybe against the grain. One thing is that you're doing a GoFundMe instead of Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I think it's interesting that you're going to use that then to put it out there. I guess I'm assuming for everyone. I mean, everyone can go read the mini comic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something. That's
I might do
different.
like a I might sell it for like $1 maybe.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Something modest like that,
Yeah, and then of course, like I said, I think it goes against the grain to do something that's not so dark in tone. Which,
yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying it's not going to be like super kiddie or it's going to be. I mean, my age range for this is boys 9 and up. That's my main demographic. That's what I'm shooting for. 9 boys and up. So that's my primary target as far as audience and readers go.
Scott, you have kids. What do they do comics, or do they think that you're weird for doing comics?
They don't think
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ronald might have kids.
No,
Ronald would have kids.
Okay.
Are you sure? Are you
I'm sure I don't have any kids.
I mean, Shawn's probably got some around here in this world.
Sean's the one with all of the unidentified kids.
Right, he's like Johnny
throughout
Appleseed.
the land.
Johnny Appleseed.
Kwai Chang Kang.
My children like comics, but they don't like them like me because they just grew up in a different time. If I would have been the guy that had my kids when I was 20, I'd probably have little comic book collectors just like me that want the physical copy and stuff like that. they're interested in it, but not enough, or they're not chomping at the bit to go to the comic store. And when we go in the comic store, sometimes I even hear that, like, Dad, we're bored. And I'm like,
How could you be bored at a comic book store?
Exactly. I couldn't imagine, like, my father taking me to a comic store when I was like 10 and just going like, I'm bored. Oh, we lost Shawn.
Oh.
Ooh, he got mad at that Johnny Appleseed comment. Well, sometimes we have to tell the truth here on Taskforce Geek.
That's right.
But I mean, it's funny to watch my kids pick up different things when we are there and see what kind of gets them to look at it and stuff. My youngest one, it's manga stuff, so she likes all, all that stuff gets her. And my oldest one, she wants Snyder movies and stuff, dark and brooding, because she's
You gotta set her straight. You gotta set her straight, man.
I'm trying. She has too much of her mother in her, I guess. So she's only half of me, fortunately and unfortunately, however you want to look at that. So
I think right now we're blessed in that there is, I think, kind of right now anything goes. I think that, and that includes in movies and television and music and comics. I think that there's room for whatever it is. But I also think that, the scale is tipped toward dark stuff, which, I like the dark stuff. That's definitely something that I enjoy. But you know what? The Batman animated series is one of my favorite things of all time.
Oh my God, that's the best. That's the show that got me into superheroes.
And one of the things that I'm going to mention later on is Tubie, which is showing a lot of the old television shows and the old cartoons that, I think are. I don't think that there are many things like that now. Mm-hmm. And I think there's definitely room for that sort of thing, and I think that they should also cater to that audience, no matter whether it is movies, television.
Yeah, I think I'm filling a void that is empty, that people want filled.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, recently, DC's come back out with Batman the Animated Series, like Batman Adventure comic books, which was based off the old animated TV series and stuff in that same style, with some of those same guys doing it that did it, 25
Paul
years
Dini
ago.
continues to work in the, in the industry. And
Ty
his stuff
Templeton.
is,
Well, no, he's
Templeton.
Right?
Templeton's one of the artists on the book.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't Scotty Young do kind of, or is his stuff edgier?
He's doing Strange. Well, he's not really doing Strange Academy. I think he's doing like alternate covers. I mean, he did the Oz stuff recently and does some other stuff. I don't follow him as much, but I do think I think it's a great time to be in comics because there's a little bit of everything out there. Even recently, like I said, I like to read sometimes pick up the old books, read a few issues, and go like, "Wow, I can't believe this sold." But like, this is a book. This is done by Ron Friends.
I think I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
The old Superman artist, the old Thor artist. He did Spider-Man, black costume Spider-Man, stuff like that. He was just one of those Marvel kind of workhorses guys that when you were a kid, it was nothing flashy. And now as a grown-up, I really appreciate him. I follow him on Facebook and everything else. But this is a book that he does all the pencils for. And it's kind of an old school story where, I mean, it could be like in 1992. It could be in 1982. It could be in 1972. Mm-hmm. It just has that kind of feel.
That timeless feel.
And I enjoy that. I enjoy reading that. Not all the time, but there's a feel for it. And that's why I picked up this book itself. So there is a market for it.
Yeah. I mean, I read more than just superhero stuff. I mean, I just read... the Dynamite's Invincible Red Sonja, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that's good.
And I picked up a couple of Conan comics by Ablaze Comics. They're doing the Sumerian.
Okay, yeah. I recently just discovered that book was out there, and I didn't realize like everybody can do a Conan book as long as you call it something different. So
yeah, because I know Marvel owns the rights to Conan the Barbarian.
It's a little gray. I just read a thing about that the other day. There's a little kind of gray area on that. But along with John Carter and some other stuff, but yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Walt says that Shazam was his favorite DC movie out of the last.
Shazam was not bad. I still feel it wasn't accurate representation of Billy Batson. It was more the New 52 Billy Batson was kind of a jerk. As opposed to how he was before, this pure-hearted kid. My favorite depiction of Billy Batson, one of my favorites, was the animated Superman Shazam Return of Black Adam animated thing. It was like it was shorter. It was like one part of the DC showcase. That's great. I mean, that's amazing.
What was the Justice League? I want to say Unlimited or something.
He was in that too. He was great in that too.
I thought the version of him on that was pretty good.
Yeah, he was pretty solid in there too. Yeah. Shazam wasn't a bad movie though, but
I have not
said
seen
that.
that.
She loved it.
I have not seen that.
I thought it was pretty good. It was definitely different than the Zack Snyder stuff for sure.
Yeah, it was. I like Wonder Woman. Wasn't bad either. I enjoyed Wonder Woman.
Right. Well, the first one wasn't bad.
Yeah, I haven't even.
Is there only one? There's only one of them, right?
Right. Well, some people wish that were the case. What?
I think there's only one of them.
I never even bothered watching 84, so I don't know.
Maybe Shawn had to poop.
You think?
Well, I don't know.
You created. I want to talk to you a little bit about the video that you created because I thought that you did a great job on your promotional video. Can you talk a little bit about the production on that?
Oh yeah, so
where we can watch it.
You can watch it on my YouTube channel.
All right, so we need all that info.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a Geek-tastic duo.
Geek-tastic.
There is the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's so long. I'm sorry it's so long.
If you like Sandstorm,
we understand.
You're going to love that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We will put it in the notes for the show if you want to do it. And you can go to YouTube just like I did and look up Geek-tastic duo, and it will take you right to that.
Yeah. So yeah, the production of that video was just I need to do something that's really going to get people excited about what I'm trying to do. So I recorded myself talking about it, and I wrote out a script. And
you can also look up Paragon Prime promo, and it comes right up.
Yeah, that would be a good way too. And I just wrote a script, and I recorded it, and then I went on Fiverr, and I hired a music composer, so it has original music.
I think it's crazy that you hired a composer to do original music.
Yeah, I mean I'm kind of like
that's unheard of.
Yeah, and then I had a buddy of mine do the editing on that, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, I'm watching it right
seriously,
now.
It looks like a trailer, for a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it sounds like it.
And I'm gonna make another one when I go on Indiegogo. I'm gonna make another one probably something along those lines again.
No, this video is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of listening to this instead of y'all.
Look, everything that no, that's cool. I wanted to mention that video because it's a step above, I think, than a lot of the stuff that's out there, promoting comics.
I have noticed that. I mean, there's a lot of great campaigns out there that I think skimp out on the promotional video.
I mean, or don't do anything, or
don't do anything.
Seriously, I think there's quite a bit of that.
Yeah, and this is a great books and great books that I backed and everything, But I wish they had their campaign promotional video was a little better, a little more polished, And I went above and beyond. I'm like, I'm going to hire a music composer. I'm going to go all out.
All right, Ronald, can you give us who's the big bad? Can you give us a spoiler and we're going to see this villain in the first 15 pages or something like that?
In these 15 pages, is the villain is called Power Surge.
Okay.
And he's a cross between Electro and Captain Cold. He's got this electricity gun.
I like Captain Cold.
I think I did post some artwork of him on my GoFundMe. If you could scroll down on the updates, I do have some artwork of him.
Ooh, okay. See older updates.
Yeah. And he's there. He's at a museum exhibit for a Golden Age hero, and one of the suits of a villain of his called Dr. Electron is on display, and he wants to steal this suit because it's a really powerful electricity suit, and Paragon Prime is there to stop him. So that's the main storyline for the mini comic. it was very old school superhero, supervillain, action adventure. That's essentially just superhero action adventure is what I really want to tell.
Can you tell us a few of the comics that you've enjoyed over the years? Stuff that you really like?
Well, I did mention the Superman Rebirth stuff is great stuff. The Kirk Busiek Avengers stuff is amazing. I'm a big fan of that.
Okay.
Jeff Loeb's Batman stuff, Batman Hush, Long Halloween, Dark Victory, all of those are really
Those are
good.
great.
Can I try to share something here?
Yeah,
Sure.
of course.
I hope I don't get myself in trouble.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, hold on. So I need to do this. Wait, what am I doing? I'm going to add this to the stream. Yeah, hold on. Here we go.
Whoa, what are
Oh
you
my
doing?
gosh.
Does this work?
Yeah, that's him. That's the villain.
Okay, because I can't really see. So that's her character right there.
Yeah, what I hate about GoFundMe, they have to crop everything. It's really annoying. Oh, I hate it.
So can we see
This
this?
should
Can
be-
everybody see this well?
Yeah, I can see it great.
Okay.
I really
Yeah.
like that character. Was that done by Facundo?
Yep, by Facundo also. So,
Beautiful work again. And I love the colors. He's pretty dynamic. Count me as a big fan. Listen, if that guy if you talk to that guy, we'd love to have him on the show.
yeah, okay. I can totally reach out to him and he
Please.
All right, I'm gonna stop
he'd
sharing
probably be
this.
more than happy. So that stuff. Anything Spider-Man is, any Spider-Man is a big influence on me. I like
What era do you like of Spider-Man?
I'm a big fan of the Michael J. Straczynski run.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I like that stuff a lot. Ed Booter, I can't remember his name. The Captain
Brubaker?
America stuff. Yeah, the Captain America stuff he did.
Okay. Yeah.
Jeff Johns is really good. He's done a lot of great stuff. Green Lantern Rebirth. But yeah, the Stanley and Stanley stuff and who else? Dennis O'Neil Batman stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
It's also
stuff.
really good. Chuck Dixon, anything by Chuck Dixon, really.
Chuck doesn't write too much anymore.
No, not anymore.
I don't really know all the behind the
Chuck
scenes
is
stuff. But
Chuck has got to be getting up there in age
that's
Yeah.
at
true.
this point.
Yeah.
All right, so
And
if we can
Daniel.
get people to get in there, let me see here. We need.
I forgot to mention, anything by Peter Tomasi and what's the other guy's name?
Well, Peter Tomasi.
Dan Jurgens. Dan Jurgens
Okay.
and Peter Tomasi.
Oh yeah, Dan Jurgens. Yeah.
So I'm a big-
Isn't Peter Tomasi still writing like detective currently and stuff?
I think so.
Yeah. So you only need $265. You hear that, Taskforce Geek people? You can donate some money selflessly to Ronald, and then you're not going to get anything but pure enjoyment from this. And then eventually he's going to make a real physical comic for you when this succeeds. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, I think this is daring because
It's different,
it's.
which is I like that.
I think it's actually a really clever idea because you don't have to ask for as much right up front. And to me, it's a step to give everybody a taste. You follow through on this. If somebody donates $20 or whatever like that, you're going to, if they see
Yeah.
this in digital format, when you're ready for print, they're really going to support you because they were there from the very beginning. So I think it's actually a very clever idea.
And I
Yeah.
thank every single backer that I see on there. I thank personally.
I've
I write
noticed
them a little
that.
note.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think that's really good of you. So
You know.
if we could just get $265 donated tonight, maybe that's where Shawn's at. He ran to the bank. We could see this.
Hopefully, yeah.
We could see this really soon, sooner than the beginning of the year, because he said in a month he could get it by the end of the year. So
Yeah, I promise you, I'm not going to skimp out on this. Making a comic book is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. It's really,
not easy.
really hard. But I'm passionate about it. I'm in it for the
It's
long
tough.
haul. It's gonna, it's probably already shaved years off my life already. So
it'll be worth it.
yeah, it's totally.
There's where
it's totally
Shawn
worth
is.
it.
He's having
Oh,
computer
okay.
issues. I had this one. I was literally like 1 minute away from going live with 4 other people, and my computer, I got the blue screen of death on my computer, and I had to recreate everything. It was a disaster. So I hope that he's not going through that, and I feel for you, man. We're looking forward to having you back. Look, let's make a case, please, for people, and tell them what it is that you're offering and why they should help you.
Did you see our question?
Achieve your goal. Oh, what was that?
That's basically what Benjamin Soto's saying.
Good.
He says, I know what inspired your story, but give us the elevator pitch for the story.
Yeah.
I'm not good at these.
That's okay, man. We'll get you through it.
Yeah, elevator pitch is just Paragon Prime is just an old style, iconic superhero story, inspired by the golden age of superhero storytelling, essentially. So if you miss that old style, heroic story, this is for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, I am a big fan of trying different things, and you're trying different things, both as doing a GoFundMe instead of some of the stuff that the other people do, and you're trying a different style of comics. I think that there's Shawn.
Hey, Shawn's back.
Oh, welcome back.
I think that there's definitely...
Welcome to the show, Shawn Gilman Wilson. Hey, Shawn, nice to meet you. Glad you could join us.
Hey, yo.
So I have a lot of passion for this. I have a lot of motivation, and it hasn't been easy. And there's been times where I've wanted to give up, like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? What's the point and stuff? But it usually doesn't last very long. So,
let's see.
Yeah. So I've gone
down, down a rabbit hole.
Oh, if you could, if any of you guys can really,
she says it's never good when Shawn starts growling.
Yeah, if you guys can just $5, $10. I mean,
how far is he away again, Scott?
265.
I mean, it's
not much.
That's right there. Folks. That's right there.
And like, as soon as
I urge
you get that,
you know what? I urge you. Can you play the video? Like, play the video here so people can see it.
I'm not sure if we can.
No.
Can we? Okay. Can we legally? Yes.
Is YouTube going to have a problem with that?
I don't know.
Probably not, because it's his video.
So
if he's not going to do a copyright strike, if he's not going to do a copyright strike, I would be more than glad to play that video.
Let's see.
Think.
If you can bring it up, dude.
Bear with me as I do this.
Try to get the sound on it.
I'll do my best. We'll see.
Dude, you've got that mirror effect again. It's driving me bonkers.
Yeah, ready? Here it goes. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go to here. Can you see it?
Lord.
Can you see it?
There we go. Well, that's good. I'm gonna bring it up full screen.
And here we go.
Okay, good.
Tell me if you hear it. I figure you won't.
Yeah, you got to share the. I'd say start it over again. I'm sorry.
What's that?
Start it over.
All right.
And play it with the. You're gonna have to start the whole show over again. I'm sorry.
Play it with what?
You're going to have to give permission for it to use the sound as well.
Oh hell, dude! I don't know how to do that. This is an old podcast. We can't.
I understand, man. Benjamin Soto says it should be fine if the music is his. He says
it is original music.
It's original music. That helps a lot.
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean,
can't hear any of it.
We're getting. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm from Minnesota, and everybody makes Oli and Lena jokes around here.
You're not getting nothing?
No, I don't think that's it either, dude.
All right.
Well, you tried. I mean, but I urge everyone to go on the YouTube channel and watch the video. And I just, I worked hard on it, and I think it should definitely like convince people that I'm serious and I'm really passionate about what
Yeah,
I'm
if you
doing
see
and why
that
I'm
video,
doing
you're
it.
going to see the quality of what you're doing and the passion. That you wrote the thing well. It's got great music to it. It's got great art.
Well, there you go. I hear it.
I hear it with somebody's.
It's
Shawn, are you
mine.
bringing it up?
I'm trying.
We'll let Shawn do it and see if he can be all fancy.
Walt says, "Come on, Scott, you're not that old."
That's true. I'm pretty young, but 31's pretty old nowadays, Walt.
Yes, it is.
These young kids,
Hey.
Wait a minute. This looks promising. You want me to bring this up, Shawn?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Okey-doke.
I hear it.
It's no surprise that I love superheroes. They fill me with hope, make me believe that life can be better, that I can be better, no matter how tough things get. And I know that I'm not alone there, even if some would say otherwise. Folks today treat the aspirational hero like it's a thing of the past. At best, it's out of style, and at worst, it's harmful. Something to be deconstructed and nothing more. They act as if doing the right thing simply because it's the right thing is somehow wrong. They say it's unrealistic, and maybe it is, but that's exactly why we need these kinds of heroes. We need these paragons, heroes like Captain America, Superman, and All Might, whose hearts are as big as their muscles, and whose desire to protect the innocent take priority over being the bad guys. The type who see the best in us and in themselves, even when they have every reason not to. That's my kind of hero. Many of the qualities that made the heroic figures of ancient mythology so resonant still be found in our modern superheroes. But the more these traits get labeled as hokey or idealistic, the more we dive into nihilism and outright villainy. The message from the mainstream media is clear. Aspirational heroes are old-fashioned and the sun has set on their ideals. But, as Agent Coulson said in The Avengers, people just might need a little old-fashioned. That's where I come in. That's where Paragon Prime comes in. Paragon Prime is an original superhero that reminds us we can be better. He's stalwart, steady, and true, as the song says. I want to bring back fun into comics. We have so many dark and gritty superhero stories. Where's the adventure, the hope, the inspiration? I want to answer these questions and more. I'm not doing this alone. With incredible art by Facundo Moyano, my story is being brought to life in ways I could have never imagined. And it doesn't stop there. Right now, I'm working tirelessly with so many talented artists, from voice actors to musicians, to make the story really sing. This is a fully fleshed out world full of thrilling action that will put you right in the middle of the story. But most of all, I want to bring back sincerity and heart back to superhero storytelling, the same way that many other independent creators are doing right now. And now you can help too. The best way to do that is by donating to my GoFundMe, link in the description. All funds raised will go to the creation of the Paragon Prime minicomic, where you can meet our hero in action, and that's only the beginning. I'd be grateful for any amount you can spare. My backers are my heroes. We've waited for mainstream entertainment to give us what we craved for too long. It's time we strapped in, stepped up, and did it ourselves. Be the change you want to see. With your help, I can make Paragon Prime happen, and together, we can usher in a new age of heroes.
Yay! Very nice.
So, yeah, you got to see a lot. You got to see a lot of the artwork there in the video itself.
Yeah.
So
Good. I'm thank you, Shawn, for playing that, and I'm glad that you're back, man. Like I said, I've been down that road. It's pretty terrible.
So yeah, I just got a message from the other guy that I'm making a video, so I'm gonna have to go soon because he's ready to go.
Yeah,
that's
Well,
cool.
thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
And
Oh no, not at all, man. This was a pleasure. I mean, I took this week off of work to do this kind of thing, to just promote my comic in as many venues as I could. So I'm when Dirk contacted me on Facebook, like, yes, let's do it. Of course. Totally. Yeah.
Ronald, don't forget to go to the Taskforce Geek, Facebook group and spam us when your comic is ready to debut and stuff like that. You can also put a link there if you would like for other people who maybe will watch this show later, so they can get a hold of it.
Actually, if you're looking for guests, I know plenty of people would love to come on.
Send them our way.
Right.
Yeah.
Please.
And I know if you post a link, it's a lot
Contact
easier
him.
for people. It's a lot easier for people to click a link than to maybe like type in a random thing here and there. So let us know about your progress and where you go.
Yeah, you know what? Shoot me a friend request on Twitter too.
There you go, Ron_Christian 55.
Already have.
All right, cool. I'll accept that later then.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, thank you for joining us today.
Not a problem. This was super fun.
We really want to know when you release this thing.
You'll know.
Okay.
You'll know because it's gonna be all over Facebook. Everyone's gonna know. So.
Good. Yeah, that's
awesome.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Good luck. Keep working hard at it.
All right,
Ronald.
thanks, guys.
We sure do appreciate you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Steve says he's in.
Well, let's see. I'm going to update this GoFundMe page. We'll see. Steve, by the end of the show, we're going to
see. You're calling him out. You want him to be in right now.
I'm just teasing, but
no, he's
all right. I don't know. What are those? Is that tacos? What is that, Walt?
Those are clapping hands.
Oh, okay.
And then a fist
or
for fist bump.
Or little tacos.
No, they're like little feet, like mutated.
Okay, feet.
Feet with little
mutated
tiny
feet.
toes. Yeah.
Right.
What in the hell is the matter
I see that.
with you people?
I see that.
Or it's like a potato with a hair braid in its hair, but it doesn't have any hair. It's a potato.
Could be a potato.
It has like a little braid in its hair, but it has no head. No, you're not, Scott. What am I not?
I don't know. That was probably a minute ago.
Oh.
Probably pretty funny at the time. Steve says
probably not.
Steve says so much pressure.
I'm gonna refresh the screen right now, Steve.
Beth says you're going to be looking for it.
Yeah, well, I don't see
Walt
nothing.
clarifies that that's clapping hands.
Thank you.
And he's giving us the rolling eyes.
Because they're idiots.
Those are little.
I don't know, man. Tacos with explosions, exploding tacos.
God, I hate you people so much.
Oh well, feelings mutual.
All right, let's reset. Here comes our next doodle.
Are you gonna play something? I think I'm gonna turn on the lights so I can like.
Here it comes.
All right.
What is this, like daytime, Scott? Or why are you changing your routine, man?
Well, he had the hero of light, and I thought I would be the brooding dark.
You thought you would become the hero of light?
I have all these little lights to do like a light source thing and try to make me look better, and I think they all look like crap. And so what I think is happening is I just look like crap. So I just don't like myself here. So we're gonna do this for a while, so y'all can see where the magic happens. I mean,
we need to go into your office and then just
right there where I sleep. That's where the magic happens.
Set up your lighting. Set up your.
See, it's all jacked up.
I mean, I could help you on this thing.
No, Dirk, you just want to come into my bedroom. I get what you're trying to do.
I've been in your bedroom, Petty.
I'm sorry, Beth. I didn't mean to make you spit out your tea.
What, you don't like light, Scott? I'm inspired by Paragon Prime.
Steve said that he just spit his good whiskey out.
Again, I'm sorry.
I don't know. Are those hands clapping, Walt? Is that what those are? Is hands clapping?
Those are fish tacos.
I see some hands clapping, maybe.
And a basketball.
And Naruto.
For sure, Naruto.
Wow. Beth wants to know what's up with the bedroom talk. Okay, so anyway, let's.
Bedrooms where people sleep, Beth.
Yeah, what the.
And watch Family Guy when they can't sleep.
Let's keep it real. We're just keeping it real.
Are we talking comics? Because I got comics. Or we have a comic article.
We're going to talk about comic stuff.
Oh, okay.
Jim Shooter just signed away Secret Wars and Venom for $10,000, they say. At a recent GalaxyCon, Jim Shooter was asked about Marvel's plans for Secret Wars, which is probably coming up, I imagine. The series that he wrote when he was editor-in-chief of Marvel that set the tone for all Marvel Comics events that followed, as well as debuting Spider-Man's sentient black costume, which one day would become Venom. And he talked about a phone call or two that he'd had from Marvel more recently, and here is the quote from Jim Shooter. He says, I get a call from David Bogart, and he's some executive vice president of something to do with properties. He said, well, I can't really talk about it, but we would like you to sign a work for hire. And I said, fine. This is Jim Shooter. He said, I said, fine. Send it to me. I did it, work for hire. It's yours. Just send me the papers. And this other guy said, no, we're prepared to pay you $10,000 to sign your name. And Jim Shooter said, I said, you don't have to pay me anything. I knew it was a work for hire. What am I going to do? Lie about it? I said, you don't have to pay me. Send me the damn paper. I'll sign it. And the guy said, take the money, dummy. And Shooter said, all right, I'll take it. So I think what this is a follow-up to some of the bad stories that we've had lately of some of the people like the guy who created Thanos, who, when they did Endgame and Infinity War, Starlin, who created Thanos and did all of the stuff for that, and then they make literally like $3 billion on the thing, and so they go to the comic writer and they say, so how much of that $3 billion did you make? And he goes like, oh, I didn't get a dime.
All right.
I think what they're trying to do now is maybe cover their rear ends to make sure that they don't have any more of those stories. So, Scott, what do you think about that?
Well, as you see in your little like title below,
yeah,
I thought it was for $10 because that's a period and not a comma.
That is actually from the
I know
story, and I didn't.
Like I told you at the beginning of the show, I didn't really read much. I heard about this, but I saw the same little title like days ago, and I thought, wow,
no
Jim Shooter was just like
internet.
A smart aleck and just said, "Give me $10, I'll buy a grilled cheese sandwich." But
right.
So I'm less impressed now that he took $10,000. But no, Jim Shooter's old school. He's. From what I remember, like he worked for I think he started with Legion of Superheroes, and he was like a 14-year-old kid or something like that when he started writing.
Yes.
So like he's been around forever, and I can only imagine like he's probably just happy to see some of them wanting to use his stories because everybody kind of liked Secret Wars, and then nobody liked Secret Wars 2, and they faulted him for the one and didn't give him too much credit for the other, and So him to get some just credit that he was doing it, I think is probably enough for him. But some money, so good on him. I like the story better when he only asked for $10. So
that was a story that was better for you.
I mean, I really thought he was like some old school guy who was like saying like they said, well, we have to pay you something. And he said, just give me $10.
Well, he was saying, I'll sign whatever it is. I think he is an old school guy. Shawn, what do you think, man?
I disagree with your analysis that they're trying to curb some sort of income based on the success of like Jim Starlin creating Thanos, and then suddenly they make $1 billion and Starlin didn't get anything. Well, we gave Jim Shooter $10,000 on a property that's going to make umpteen billions of dollars. That's still just peeing in my face and calling it rain. The whole
you into that? You into that, Shawn?
No. The whole thing.
Wow.
I am so done talking to you. The whole giving him $10, that I think that's just a legality to square away the property so that they have complete and total rights to Venom's original story that Sony does not have. I'm suspecting that if anybody knows the true history of the black costume and how it came to be and how it became sentient in the Spider-Man comics and whatnot. There's a lot more to it than what we've been shown in the movies, and it seems to me like Marvel is kind of hedging their bets for something in the possible future. So, let's hope that they have a plan on down the road. Now, as far as Secret Wars, God, I really don't know if I want to see that movie. That was
depends which one they do. I mean, they did a comic crossover recently that was way better than the original stuff. So,
I mean, that original story with the Beyonder and all that, it was like, okay, that might sell a couple of floppy mags, but I don't see how that would make an interesting movie. And as far as again, getting back to the rest of Venom's history, it seems like they might be hedging some bets as to what they're going to do with that at a later time. To me, we'll see.
Let's get some of these comments out here. Beth says that she's a romance writer. She doesn't care about bedroom talk. It's okay.
Romance book. Never mind.
Michelle says that she didn't know it was that kind of romance.
Well, that's.
Hello to G Brown. Also, thanks to him for filling in when I wasn't here. I appreciate that. And Gary, you're always good on the analysis, man. You're welcome anytime. And also speaking to Gary, I read the first Supergirl. What's the new Supergirl?
Tom King. With Tom King, Girl Tomorrow.
Girl Tomorrow. That's it. I read the first one, and it is as good as you say it is. It's really amazing and awesome. Steve says, well, Scott showed that earlier. Anyway, there it is. And Shell says he's into some weird stuff.
Shawn or
I'm going to assume that it's Shawn. I'll let her clarify that.
We know who it is. The most quietest guy is always the weirdest one.
Is that the way that works?
Yeah.
Gary says, blasphemy, the Secret Wars of my youth. Give me Hulk holding up a mountain. That's what he wants.
Go back and read those, G. Brown, and let us know how good they are now.
Is the new Secret Wars around, like, say, circa 2006?
I want to say it was like 2014.
Oh, much later.
Is
it was the one with Spider-Woman?
No.
As the main character, or am I getting it
confused
confused with something
that
else?
was the.
You're
that
thinking
was
of
the
Secret
old one.
Invasion.
Yeah, you are right. That is what I'm thinking of.
This one was like an alternate timeline thing where all the universes were collapsing in on it, and like Doctor Strange did something to do all this, and it was where you got Doom as like the Emperor, and he had a white costume and stuff like that, and there was all these different like kind of like areas of the planet where there was the Thor corpse, and so there was a whole group of Thors that were there, and all they were was different Thors plucked from different timelines and stuff like that. So
dude,
I can't remember
if that's the plot. That's probably where we're heading, because everything that they're doing right now is multiverse stuff.
That's why I said I wonder if they had to like grab that to get some of this.
Okay.
This was done. It was a Jonathan Hickman thing. He wrote it. Isaac Ribic. He was the artist, and it was in 2015. So.
Okay, so it wasn't really that long ago at all.
No.
Okay, I think that's pretty interesting. I think that the whole thing with I think the most important thing is that if they are trying to pay him off or get some rights out of him or whatever the case is, it's very clear where the MCU is headed.
But see, even as he stated, he did it as work for hire, which means that Marvel should already hold the rights to that stuff.
I don't think they have to do that. I mean, I hate to be the guy that sounds like I'm siding with the corporation, but I don't think they have to do that.
They don't have to do it.
No.
Okay.
So
they don't have to do it, but
the whole
they don't want any more. In my opinion, they don't want any more newspaper articles where they go to these old guys who did this work for hire stuff, and they're not getting a dime from creating all of these characters and these storylines.
I get that.
That's my opinion.
Even still, if the property is going to make, as you say, $1 billion, $10,000 is that's
it's still chump change, but it's better than $0.
You know, that barely pays for popcorn to see the movie.
That's so true.
I really just thought it was $10. I love that story.
You want it to be $10.
Yeah, I wanted Jim Shooter to go, just give me $10.
Well, he said he'd do it for nothing.
I know.
I mean,
$10
well, Jim
is cool.
Shooter was the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. He was the big cheese around there for a long time. He made out okay. You know, I mean, he's probably not a millionaire, but
Well, then
maybe he is. I don't
He
know.
revitalized Valiant Comics until
He
he was
did.
out of there, and then he went on to what was it?
That's a good point.
What was the other comic company with Warriors of Plasm and stuff like that? I forgot what their imprint name was.
Oh my gosh! Could someone help us out with that? I cannot remember that. Continuity.
No, that was the other guy's company. The other guy.
Steve says, "Side note: It's good to see the original TFG trio back together on stage again." Thank you, Steve.
Well, you're only getting this for like 1 week, Steve. Sorry, bro. Defiant Comics.
Oh, Defiant, yes.
And after that, I think he did Broadway Comics after that one failed. So Jim Shooter's been around and done a lot of things with a lot of comic companies.
Gary says all of you are correct. That's why they're going to Substack for their own IPs, which is, I mean, that's one of the many fracturings within the comic book industry.
That's true.
Which I'd
Yes,
actually
but
like to
Substack
talk
threw
about
an
in depth
ungodly amount of
sometime.
money at them to come over there. So it's not like they sought them out or anything. Substack said, please.
Yeah, I mean,
Here's
Substack
money,
is-
make your
is
own
making
team,
the
do what you
play.
want.
You know, they're kind of doing the Netflix thing. They're trying to soak up, you know, the big creators and get them over there to create some excitement. But that's cool.
Yeah.
Gary says the comic industry is like me paying J.K. Rowling to write Harry Potter and me getting all the profits.
Kinda. But it's been like that since
Scott's
the
not going to be
beginning.
here next week.
I'm retiring a show.
Scott's joining the band.
Scott's
School band.
Scott's daughter's joining
Not like the
band.
Beatles.
I'm like 99% sure I got a parent meeting that freaking night about working a show.
He's going
He's
to miss
gonna
a really
manage
cool
the
creator.
band.
He's the band man.
I'm-
He's like
I'm a band dad now.
is that like Danny Bonaducci? Who was the guy
Yes.
who managed the Partridge Family?
Mr. Kincaid.
Is he like
Yeah,
Mr. Kincaid?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the Mr. Kincaid for Moore High School.
No, I'm not. There's other people that do a lot more than I did. But
Oh wait, Beth says Reuben Kincaid.
Ruben, I knew. I was starting
There
to
we
look it
go.
up. Thank you, Beth.
Oh my lord. Okay, I think we've beat that to death. I got one more topic here, real quick. And here that comes. Here we go. Did Reuben Kincaid have a lot of hair?
Well, let me tell you something. Where Ruben Kincaid might have had hair on his head, I make up for it all over my back and body. So,
Oh,
Thank you for that picture.
wow.
Hey-oh! Nah, I don't think I'm that hairy, but Jennifer might say otherwise.
Wow. Maybe Jennifer would like to give us
Jennifer,
the
we
final.
need you to chime in on that.
We need the final decision. Is that your final decision?
I don't
We
want
need
to
the
know.
final decision on that.
That's why I leave my shirt on.
That's it.
It's always better to be pantsless than shirtless, as I always say.
Of course you would.
Yeah,
Hey,
well, Winnie the Pooh's done it for
What is-
years.
What is this? You got something coming up here, man?
Ruben Kincaid.
Reuben Kincaid.
What do you got, Shawn? Are you going to show? Oh, Reuben.
Yeah. Oh God,
He
I
does
can't,
have a lot of hair.
dude. I can't. That mustache, man. That's a
The
sign
mustache
of the
is 60s tastic
wow.
for sure. And how about that? And how about that shirt?
There he is without.
Go back to that. We've already talked about this, and I'm not going to talk about it too much because I
How
don't
about
want
that
to get
purple
into conversation.
background? It matches our background.
You know, Ruben Kincaid. While the Partridge Family was playing, he was out smoking cigarettes in the alley looking for trim. Right?
Is
Can
that
I
what's
say
happening?
that? Can I say that?
I mean-
Look at
Well, you
Shawn.
did. So
Look at Shawn. Look at Shawn's
What
face.
about
If you don't know what that means, don't do whatever. Anyways,
don't follow up on that? Don't do the Google search?
he's God dang it.
It's been a while since I've seen Reuben
I can't
Kincaid.
get this comment to come up, but Jen says
He's
I'm
a bit of
pretty
a singer,
sexy.
it looks like.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit swingerish.
Yeah, Jennifer, I confirm. I can't get this comment to come up for some reason. She says I'm pretty sexy, and I'm,
Wait a minute.
I'm hairy like a
Wait a minute.
brand new baby.
Okay, I'll see if I can bring it up.
No, I don't want you to bring it up. Please.
Beth says that she doesn't want the. Oh my God, dude! Just stop fighting with me here, please. Beth says I'm with Shawn. I don't need that mental image. Steve says, "Well, there goes the romance." Walt has something. I think that's Naruto again.
Hey, where I lack in
Jennifer
romance,
says he's
I
pretty
make
hairy.
up in everything else. I am
Jennifer
funny.
says-
I'm like a clown.
Jennifer makes the call. Final decision. Is that your final decision?
Well,
Pretty hairy, she says. Beth says that was a porn stash. Thank you very much. Beth wants to bring it all up. She's saying yes and LOL.
yeah, well.
So there we go.
I think I'm more like Casper. I'm kind of pasty white and smooth.
Okay.
Casper. That is not a current reference either, by the way.
I know. I'm an old
That
man.
is that is Casper's really before all of our time, to be quite honest.
Well,
Hard to believe. Okay, let's talk about the Rocketeer here for just a moment. Disney is reviving a cult classic favorite, The Rocketeer, with a new Disney Plus movie titled The Return of the Rocketeer. David, I'm going to destroy this name. David and Jessica Oyelowo. Anyone?
Oyelowo?
Oyelowo are
Oyelowo?
producing under their Yoruba Saxon banner. The project, written by Ed Rycourt, will also be a possible starring project for the Selma actor, for David. The original movie, released in 1991, was directed by Joe Johnston and adapted from the Dave Stevens graphic novel. In that film, which made close to $47 million at the domestic box office and became a fan favorite for the studio, a young pilot stumbles onto a prototype jetpack that allows him to become a high-flying masked hero. I'm going to go to Shawn on this first. Are you excited about the new thing? And what are your thoughts about the old show, the old comic, and the old movie?
I enjoyed the comic. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was a nice throwback to the I guess you would say the golden age of Hollywood and
Right.
whatnot.
When is the old Rocketeer set?
I want
what
to
was
say
the
it
year?
was like the 30s or 40s because
That's-
it was
that
right
sounds
around the
right,
time,
30s.
like right before the Nazi
Yeah.
big thingy.
Although Nazis were involved,
the
weren't
thing that happened.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
I'll find out.
But
1938.
they? All right. So
Uh,
pre-World War II?
so Timothy Dalton, who plays a Hollywood actor
Wow.
in that time frame, he was the kind of like the Errol Flynn of this movie universe, and Jennifer Connelly was a up and coming actress, and the glamour and the glitz of that whole era in the costuming and the tech and everything that centered around it. I thought it was really interesting how they kind of melded all that together into the Rocketeer film.
Right.
I don't know what their plans are as far as this new me. I haven't read the article completely. I believe that they're doing a Tuskegee Airman.
Yes.
Our hero is a Tuskegee Airman, which that's interesting. I'm curious to see how they're going to update the
Apparently
costume.
it's going to be not a reboot, but it's going to carry on the story,
Well, that'll be.
from what I've heard.
I'm not 100% on that, but
Okay.
and the reason being is that movie, the Rocketeer, is what, 30 years old, 40
Yep.
years old,
Yep.
30, somewhere in there.
1982. Started as a
Okay.
backup feature.
Okay, well,
82?
82 Pacific Comics. It was backup in Star Slayer.
Okay, that's the comic. What about
okay,
the movie?
the movie.
Oh,
The
movie.
movie, I think, was in the 90s. I want to say
91.
I'm going to guess 90,
91.
Okay. I was going to
Okay.
say
91.
92.
So okay,
That's
so
pretty close.
there you go, 30 years, and
Good
as far
Lord.
as that goes,
Was that 30 years ago?
let that go. You know that if you were going to do any type of sequel or continuation of that story or anything like that, I think you would want to do it. I don't know, 20 years ago. At this point, I mean, there are people right now watching movies that weren't born for another 10 years after this movie came out. It I don't know. It seems like they're trying too hard to hold on to the original movie. Let it go. Start fresh, start new, create your own thing, run with it, do what you're going to do with it. As far as this particular character in that role, I'm not 100%. I mean, to me, he's the guy that got killed by Jack Ryan. So, or Jack Reacher, excuse me. So, you know, I'm not a real big. I'm not real big on him being the hero, so to speak. He's kind of a small person. You know, I'm thinking somebody.
So was Jack Reacher.
Yes, he was, and that really bothered me. Being the character was so well described in the books, but I digress. I don't know. I'll give it a chance. I always try to reserve any type of judgment until I see a trailer or anything like that. So
Yeah, and I mean, this was just announced, so we're probably a couple of years away from really seeing.
You know, I mean,
anything.
for all we know, come this time next year, they'll drop this project and move on to something else.
That is true.
So I'll wait. I'll reserve judgment. Hopefully, if they do move forward with it, it'll turn out cool. We'll just have to wait and see.
All right. Walt wants to know if you make Chewbacca noises.
No, not really.
Steve says Scott's shirt number 2, pasty, smooth, and spicy.
Not bad.
Jennifer says only in the bedroom.
Okay.
Michelle says you're killing me. Julie's
Making
laughing.
Shawn uncomfortable about sexy talk. That's
not
how
right.
you were born, Shawn.
I
Your
don't
parents
care.
had sex.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, Scott, you're up, man. What do you think about the old and about the new?
So I really loved the movie when it came out, and I was kind of upset that we didn't get other movies. I mean, that was before like every movie was pretty much going to be a trilogy, you know, like they are now. They always plan for them to be not one-offs. Usually we got to plan for the next 3. I think if that movie would have came out now, we for sure would have saw at least 2 movies, unless it was a big flop like John Carter. I think a little kind of what this shows you though is Disney is trying to grab something else from their past, because you would think at least at some point the Star Wars, you know, doing the Star Wars series might get tiresome to people and the superhero stuff might run out, so that at least they're going back and trying to get something different, you know, to do a series on. I could be wrong on that, because maybe they can do anything and everybody will still watch it. I don't watch everything Disney, and I know there is people that watch everything Disney. So the fact that they're rebooting this, I'm not really a big fan of either. I kind of just wish they would move on from it, and maybe this is the next guy taking up the legacy of the guy who maybe was the Rocketeer and he went on to World War II and he was a big hero, but he died, you know, courageously helping some people, and this is the next generation or something. I don't know what the right answer for this is. I don't even know if I'll watch it, because I'm not a big TV guy who's chomping at the bit to sit down and watch TV. But if they do it in the right way, or at least the right way for me, maybe 30-minute, 40-minute chunks of a series, only 6 episodes, something like that, I might give it a shot. I know that I love the era that the Rocketeer comics was in and the movie was in, and I really enjoyed the movie, at least at the time. It might not hold up to this day. I don't know. So it's interesting. I really, back in the day when I wanted another Rocketeer movie, and then they started doing things like, you know, Young Indiana Jones and these other like TV series, I was like, why won't we do a Rocketeer series? You know, like, why didn't USA Network come up with like a Rocketeer series, stuff like this, when they had all the other crap? All the other crap like Hercules and Xena and all that junk. So it's cool. It's just like But why 30 years later? I don't get it, but, oh well. It is what it is.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Benjamin Soto said, I love that movie, and I have a couple of the Star Slayer comics with the Rocketeer backups.
Yeah. They're probably worth some money now.
Steve says, waiting for Disney's reboot of the unidentified flying oddball. I may be one of the people that was disappointed with the old movie. I thought it was okay, but just okay. I wasn't really blown away with it. What I really did like was the old Dave Stevens comic that came out, which is all based on the original comic. The Rocketeer is where everyone should run instead of walk, and go pick that up and look at. I mean, the artwork is stunning. I mean, really, really, really amazing. It's beautiful stuff. They will never duplicate how amazing that comic is. Plain and simple. I think if you look at the Rocketeer, it's one of those things that they really wanted to be a big franchise many years ago, and it just didn't capture the imagination of people at the time. I do like that era quite a bit. It's kind of the old Indiana Jones era where they, you've got all of the trapping. It's not steampunk, but it's kind of all of the old trappings of those cars and the look of the bad guys and the fisticuffs and the old kind of
right.
The adventure style stuff. I think is definitely an era that we should be exploring more often. This new version of the thing, I mean, it could be awesome. I think that the old story is that the guy who ends up as the Rocketeer finds that backpack. He didn't create it. He's not like Tony Stark or something. And they may do the same thing with this guy, that the backpack just falls in his hands, and that's how they carry on with the story.
It was a Howard Hughes product or something, wasn't it? They were testing it.
I'm not sure. I don't remember enough.
I don't remember. But the guy who ended up with it was not the creator of it. That's anyway the deal. So I think it's cool that they've dipped back in here. I think I mentioned to Shawn not too terribly long ago that I can't believe that they haven't done a Rocketeer thing, because it's like one of those properties, since they're remaking everything. I think it's one of those properties that's been sitting around for a while, and I feel like maybe now would be a good time to get back to that. So anyway, good for them. Beth says Disney has other properties they could reboot or refresh. She wants more Tron. I would love more Tron, but
Tron is stupid.
But I would like for it to be done.
Tron. I got sucked into a video game. I got sucked into a video game. Now I got to go smash mushroom people's heads and save the princess because I'm in here with Mario. I hated that concept when I was a little kid. That made me so mad that guy got sucked into a stupid computer instead of it being its own like mythical world. Screw Disney. You know how disappointed I was? I didn't get to see many movies at the theater unless my grandparents took me. I finally got to see Tron. Somebody brought up their big Betamax tape, and we watched it at school. You know how disappointed I was?
Shout out to Betamax.
When the guy's over here messing around with the computer and gets sucked into a computer world, and it's like, hello, we are pixel people. Welcome to our world. We're nanobytes and blah, blah, blah. Get out of here with that bullshit. Oh, I'm so mad.
This is why I don't listen whenever you criticize a movie.
Let me tell you something. I played the video game, I bought the toys, and then I saw the movie later, and I was totally disappointed. So much I didn't even watch the second one that they made or whatever it is. Screw Tron.
Ashell says that Disney needs to make another princess movie. I think she's being facetious there.
No, I think they should.
She says I love Art Deco. That's why I think the Warren Theater is so pretty. I agree with that totally. I love that look. Steve wants Rocketeer versus Godzilla.
Might get it.
That would be like one scene where Godzilla, swallows him.
What if
He's
we
a
had
little overpowered there?
What if we had a Disney princess movie
Walt says no.
with two guys or two girls? How epic would that be? It would make all the boomers just like blow up. They would just go, church.
That says get him, Shawn.
Did I get the tickle out of Shawn? God, can I have those in the same movie? Like it's couples forced to like arranged marriages, and their fathers are like, "You need to marry a good girl," and she's like, "But Daddy, I don't know. I just want to play baseball." And then like another guy, the other people, they're like, I don't know, they're like kingdoms next to each other, and then they just hook up the two dudes and the two girls. How great would that be?
What the?
It could be called Scissors and Hammers.
About?
It's great. Never mind.
Jennifer says that the new Neutron was great. I never saw the old one though.
Don't.
Steve
It's
says
awful.
Tron versus Scott. This time it's personal.
I'm gonna plug the computer and smash it.
Jennifer
They're like,
says,
"Oh God, somebody's wrecking our world."
Here's the authority. Jennifer says I'm going to make Scott watch it.
No.
Walt just wants you to breathe deep. All right. That's it, man.
It's going to be our world here in another 10 or 15 years.
I know, and Hoop's gonna love it. He's like, "I've been jacked in all day. I'm 21 in this computer world. I'm gonna unplug you when you're like that too."
I
so
would
you know.
gladly have the internet in my brain 24 hours a day.
You kind of almost do now.
I do. Almost. Let's go to On Blast. For Scott, who's been here for a year and a half, and for the other people out there who who actually know this, but let's pretend like people are watching it that have never seen it before.
It's where we
On
talk
Blast-
about Tron, how Tron sucks.
On Blast is the segment where we talk about shit that we've watched or we've played games or we've read. And so
I got a
now what
bunch.
we're going to do is talk about that.
I got a bunch.
So I know you do. So first we're going to Scott.
Okay, where do I start? I watched not the He-Man Masters of the Universe show. I watched the Masters of the Universe show by Kevin Smith. And I know you guys have already talked about it when I wasn't here. I might have already talked about it in between. I really, really enjoyed the show, and I think all you old school people who are mad that it's not like you had when you were a kid, you need to just kind of like get off of it. That show was terrible. I think it was really good. I look forward to watching what's the vampire show, What We Do from the Shadows or whatever.
Yep.
It's about to come out. Actually, I want to talk about some comics and stuff I read. I've been kind of reading some old books, like trades and stuff I've gotten. I finally sat down and read these. I got these last year in Chicago when I went on my trip for the Blood Bowl. Devil Dinosaur by Jack Kirby. It's all the issues. It's interesting. It's probably not the greatest Jack Kirby stuff ever, but it was a nice experiment of him trying to do kind of a boy and his dog type thing set back in the prehistoric times. I can imagine reading it in the 70s and really going like, wow, this is really different. Next book up here, if I can not get a glare, it says Supervillains Unite, but this was in an old Marvel comic called Marvel Supervillain Team Up. And this has like issues of giant size Supervillain Team Up 1 and 2. And then it became a regular series that went from like 1 to like 17. And there's some like crossover issues in here. Let me tell you something. This is Marvel 70s in a nutshell. It's just random guys doing kind of crappy stuff. I mean, like they just whatever. Put that on paper. Kids will buy it. Kids will buy these funny books. I mean, it's classic Doom. He is a butthole to everybody. He calls everybody adult. You idiot adult. Get out of here. I'm Doom. And no matter what you do, and Dirk will for sure remember this person. We used to role play with somebody, and I'm not going to mention their name, but every time we figured out what the villain was doing,
Yes.
he would go like, "Oh, I wanted you to find out where I hid my hidden treasure and had all the plans to take over the world. You fell into my plans perfectly."
Can confirm
That's how Doctor Doom is in this. No matter what you do to Doom, he's like, well, of course that's
That
what
was
I
my
wanted
plan.
you to do. I've always wanted you to, wreck my country, kill all the people, destroy my economy, make me broke and suffer for 7 years so I'd get a real job and understand the meaning of a dollar. Anyways, I had fun reading it, but it's Marvel's 70s stuff is just so unique and fun, and yet it's so bad at the same time. And that was a book every couple issues they said new creative team coming, and then they would have a new creative team for one issue and then they'd hand it off to somebody else. And at one point the book turned into Marvel super villain team up with the Red Skull and Hate Monger, which at the time Hate Monger was Adolf Hitler.
Wow.
Was a clone of Adolf Hitler. So at one time, think about what Marvel had in the 70s. Some Nazis running the books. A little gem I found this weekend. Me and Jennifer took a road trip, went to Dallas. We went to a bunch of comic stores. I've never seen this thing before. This is at one of the Ollie's stores. This is Watchmen Noir. It is all the Watchmen issues, but in black and white, which is kind of cool because if you're an artist and you like to see stuff like that before the color. So got this I got this bad boy for $8.
How many? Oh my God!
It's 12 issues. It's all.
How many pages is that thing?
I don't.
It's got to be a lot.
It's 12 issues of whatever the series was back in the day.
That's 24 pages, 12 issues.
Yeah. So there's that. I have not read that.
$8. That's the deal of the century right there.
There's the other things I could show off, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'll save it for another time. This is a book, independent book from. It says Black Caravan, which is like an imprint of Scout Comics. And I just love the artwork here of this Phantom Star Killer. It looks like something I would have drawn in like 4th grade or something. But this thing has kind of like a Skeletor type character meets Star Wars. And then near the end, I think it's a one-shot from everything I've read. And it kind of blends into, it has even old ads like we used to see in our Star Wars comics. But it kind of goes into this like Count Draco comic. So I don't know if these are like little one shots of just kind of their kind of crazy world here, but it was a fun read. I really enjoyed the art, maybe more than the story itself. So I'm going to try to track down the other book. This is the one thing I did want to talk about. Dave Lampin, he did the what was that thing called? Stray Bullets for the longest time.
Yeah.
He worked for Valiant Comics back in the day. This is a book called, I guess it's technically called Hero Trade Passive Aggressive. I don't know if the hero trade matters, but the book is called Passive Aggressive. Matt Kent or whatever. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. It's right there.
Kent?
Kent? Okay. Anyways, Matt Kent. I know he's worked for some of the big comic creators and stuff like that, or comic companies. He's had his own independent books. Here's another one. It's from Bad Idea Comics. Interesting, when I bought this book, the guy goes, I just want you to know that this is the... Well, he said passive edition, and I said, what do you mean passive edition? And he said, well, there's an aggressive comic too. He said, we ordered the book, and it was, you don't know what you were getting.
Oh, one is passive and one's aggressive.
One's passive and one's aggressive. Well, I opened it up, and I actually got the aggressive edition, not the passive edition. And I've called around. I talked to a few guys that when I posted this, they said, hey, did you get the passive one? Because I can't find that. I only got the aggressive. And from what I understand, it's the same premise of the story, except taken from the point of view of the other people. So our hero here is doing XYZ, and things happen. And then in the other book, it's the point of view from another character that sees everything that this hero's doing and probably has a different perspective on it. So I stupidly searched out the passive edition. I had to go to eBay for it. I paid way more than I want to admit.
Oh, wow.
And I really should. This book just came out, and I guess it's just hard to find because I guess the store said, I want one of these, and you just got whatever you got. So finding them's kind of hard, and I guess the passive one's rarer. Buy everything on eBay, but I should take care of this because this might actually have some value.
Steve wants to mention the spot varnish on the cover. This was pretty slick, man.
This was a really, really, really fun book. I like the art. It's black and white stuff, you know.
I like it too.
I know Dave Lampin from way back when in comics and stuff like that. So, anyways, I enjoyed it. There's a little backup story in it and stuff with Klaus Janson doing actually art.
Oh.
So So some old vets doing this.
He's not inking that.
No, he just did the art for the little short story in there. So, anyways, this was very interesting, and I'm really excited. My pocketbook wasn't excited, but I'm excited to get the passive version to see the difference between the book and like the story they're trying to tell. From what I understand, these are just 2 one-shot books, so it's really a one-shot book, but told from 2 different perspectives. So, anyways, that's really all. I mean, I have one more thing here.
Well, bring it, man. Let's
all
do
right,
it.
because I'd like to actually send this off to the mail. Are you guys familiar with, or did you even know this existed?
Nope.
So this is Yiro Kawada or whatever, if I'm pronouncing that right. Or as we Americans would say, Jiro Kuwuda. No, I don't really know how to pronounce this guy's name, but this is fantastic. I found this also at one of those Ollie stores. I picked this thing up for $3. This says Volume 1. I don't know if they made more past this.
Let's see inside it, man.
It is Batman manga from like 1967.
Really?
Yes. It's 17 issues. Like I said, I didn't research to see if it goes past this, but oh my gosh, you should see some of the characters in this. They have like some cover. Like here he is facing like Dr. Faceless. There's a character called the Human Ball. There's a guy named Professor Gorilla.
I didn't know that even existed.
If I would have told you this was made today by the art, you would believe me, because the art is just really nice. Which just the craft of these stories is just blows me away. That this was produced, in 1967 compared to some of the comics from DC and everything else. I'll try to get you one more character here. I just had it here.
Well, ironically, that style is very popular right now.
There's the Human Ball. Anyways, this is fantastic. Unfortunately, I couldn't find another copy, but I feel like I need to ship this off to Joe Roberts and let him read it for his Batman podcast, because this is just great stuff. And if you can get a copy of it, even if you pay full retail, it's only $15 and well worth it. If you're a fan of some manga stuff, some Batman stuff, and it's kind of in that style from when the Batman TV show was a big deal here in America, read this. It's really, really, really good. I can't give you enough props on this. This is great. Great stuff, and it's going to pain me to give this to Joe.
Steve is all about it, man.
There it is, Steve. Go find
he's
it.
ready.
I can't believe I found it. It was only $3 when I found it. I would have paid $15 after reading the first issue. So, It's really good. It's really good. So, there you go. There's everything. I have more, but I'm not going to talk about it.
That's enough.
All right.
There'll be other times.
Later.
All right, Shawn, you're up.
Is Shawn talking?
I don't know.
We can't hear you, Shawn. No, we really can't hear you.
Wow.
Hey, Shawn, move your mouth and I'll say things as you.
Oh, that's really a bad idea.
I just farted. I just farted. My name's Shawn. I like to fart. Sometimes I farted over there. I pooped right there. And,
Oh, my Lord.
I'd like to give Scott a kiss, but I'm not to tell him. All right, that's enough.
What's going on? I'm hearing static. Is that you, Shawn? Are you plugged in?
I'm hearing static too.
There you go.
Try that. That's way better.
So much better.
Thanks, Kat.
Or we could go back to Scott doing
Christ, no.
dubbing Shawn.
I don't really have anything. I've just been working a lot on a couple of different projects. Although I did see a movie the other night, Nobody, which was...
Is that your tummy?
No, that's the cat.
That's the
which
cat.
Was...
Cat's about to go nuclear.
A lot of fun. It's old man John Wick. It was a blast. I highly recommend if you. It's currently for rent on digital platforms. I picked it up. I rented it for what was it, $2, $3, something like that. So I mean, it's priced fairly cheap. Give it a watch. I think you'll enjoy it if you enjoy those kind of action movies, over the top action movies. it was a blast.
That's it, man. You don't have any Kickstarters? You get 14 Kickstarters
Unfortunately,
in a day.
I got a huge bunch over the last couple of weeks, but I've already talked about them. Nothing recent.
All right. All I want to talk about is I want to talk about Tubie. Tubie is an app that's free. It's free. You can watch whatever content that they have on there, and I think it's interesting because many times I talked to Shawn and I said, "Why is the old classic Battlestar Galactica not available in streaming?" Tubie has it. Why is the old Buck Rogers thing? Why is that not streaming somewhere? Tubie has it. It's free. All of the old, I watched the old Flash Gordon stuff that was done right around the late 70s. And by the way, it's pretty damn good. It's better than I remember. And they also have some Batman series from that time, which with Batmite that is really super terrible. But if you're interested in that sort of content, some of that old stuff or some newer stuff, they also play movies. It's all completely free. I mean, it's hard to beat free. You do have to watch some commercials. But anyway, if you want to see that sort of content, then go to Tubie. That's what I got. What else? Oh, wait a minute. Beth says, Tubie's wonderful. I'm finding Michael Fassbender movies on it that are helping me capture my hero's voice. There you go. I mean, Tubie it's free. Can I underscore that enough? I watch it on my Xbox. You can probably watch it on, I'm going to imagine Roku or wherever it is that you're watching your stuff. It's hard to beat. I'm going to be watching the whole old classic Battlestar Galactica. I'm really looking forward to it. I watched the first 2 episodes. It's really cool. It's good stuff. Better than I remember, actually. Better than I remember. It's held up well. All right, so it's promo time, guys. Let's go to Shawn first.
Like always, check me out at rankingstudios.com, where I and the rest of the studio mates hang out and post artwork and try to impress the lot of you. You can also find us at Facebook/Ranking Studios. Please feel free to stop by, check us out, drop us a line, let us know what you think. Let us know how you think we can improve. Just talk to us. And we will do our best to answer any questions. I read through everything that comes through our Ranking Studio site. Please feel free. Drop us a line. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. All right. Scott, what do you got, man?
You can find me over at bothdown.com. You can go listen to one of my wonderful podcasts of Blood Bowl. And that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, you can see all this info's right here. See?
That's all the goodies.
All that, you can go over to Twitter. I try to talk, but I don't do it too often, so. I gotta sometimes contain all my sexiness, like, I know, like, I'm kind of like a magnet towards people, and they, like, all want to be like, they want to, like, ooh, can I be your moon and rotate around the center of your universe? And I'm like, no.
I would say you're more contained like Chernobyl. Like if it gets out of control, it like destroys several nations.
A giant spear of light beaming towards the heavens. It's a big mess
and people die. Thousands of years.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, think about all the cool mutated, like, animals that are going to come out of this. I might have, like, a frog with antlers.
They do have a thing called the Black Forest near Chernobyl with weird mutated animals.
See? That's
if
good,
you're into
right?
That. Yeah. I mean, makes for good stories.
During the Second Age, that's maybe how we came to be in existence, like the society collapsed.
Is that how it all
mutations. Happened? Yeah. We might have been frog people at one point. Now we're not.
Beth says, I still cry when Serena dies, even to this day. What about...
it is sad.
What about Rick Springfield? What about when he dies?
His death is too sudden and too quick.
I'm not even going to comment on that. Steve says, insert puke emoji here. Touche. I think that's Naruto again. Naruto?
That's Pac-Man.
Pac-Man?
That's Pac-Man.
I'm sorry, I got that one wrong.
What is the
I have a
Scott
half-life.
has a half-life.
What's that mean?
Beth says she wasn't invested in Rick Springfield at the time. He was so young. So young.
He wasn't even on General Hospital yet, I don't believe.
I think Beth
But
is
later-
more like Beth is
later
more
she was
like
into Rick
a
Springfield.
Captain Steubing, Isaac from Love Boat type gal. Like she likes both of those
You know-
dynamic figures.
You know,
The
Isaac
dominant
was-
Steubing who's bald, and then like Isaac, the kind of fun guy who's like the subservient guy. He's like, whatever, Mr. Steubing. And he's like, but I'll make you a drink, young lady. And Beth was like, oh,
Isaac was on Destination Unknown the other day
see?
with Josh Gates, and still looks. Look, Isaac has got to be getting up there. He looked fantastic. Walt says a comic about Scott titled "Delusions of Grandeur." How about that? Beth was more into Gopher.
That
the
says a
Love
lot
Boat.
about you.
I remember Gopher from Death Race.
He's like the
Isn't
guy
he
most
a-
likely to shart on the Love Boat, Beth. That's who you're hanging out with.
Didn't he become like a representative?
I believe.
Grandy? What's
I
his
think
name?
so.
Grandy? I believe he became a representative for the United States. For better or for worse. Hey, there's my
Fred
beats.
Lawrence Grandy.
There you go. How about that? How about that for pulling that out of my private parts? There's all
Became a
my
member of
goodies.
the United States House of Representatives for
There
the
you go.
state of Iowa.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Shawn. There's all of my stuff there. In 2 weeks, I'm going to go to Fan Expo in Dallas. These guys are not going. I am going. I will be there. You can see me. I will be whatever. Meeting the people. I will be one among the people at Fan Expo. Robert has a couple of tables. I'll be setting up there. I have a couple of prints that I'm going to be selling, and we're going to talk a little bit about Taskforce Geek. If I can get any of the people there, comic creators, or look, some of the people at Fan Expo are a big deal. I doubt if I'm going to get them in front of the camera, but I might get a few comic book people, and if I do, then I will show that to us in a couple of weeks.
You
So
will
there's my
have
stuff.
failed if you don't get a few guests for the show.
I'm going to try. If nothing else, I'm going to see if I can't, get them on the regular
Well,
show.
you're going to have to talk to them face to face instead of like email or Twitter.
I know.
Can you do that?
I can.
Okay.
What I need are some flyers, which I'm going to be working on here soon.
Is that comic company still around that made like, real life biographies of like, I guess now it'd be like Only Fangirls? You need to get some of those guests on. Never mind. It was a different age and time.
Are you talking about those stupid bio comics that they used to
Yeah.
come out with?
Of adult film stars.
That's
You can get
You
like
think that's
Only
where our
Fangirls
sweet spot
now.
is?
Right. It'd be like, here's Beatrice.
dude. You
She's,
could be illustrating
49.
those right now. There's
She's a bus
140 of.
She's a bus driver by day and an OnlyFans mom at night.
Julie ruled them all. You think Julie was in charge of the Love Boat?
Oh, pretty much. Behind the scenes, she was, yeah.
Beth says that you and I are going to have words. LOL. She likes Starbuck. Old Starbuck and new Starbuck.
All girls like Starbucks.
Steve says he's got a beer waiting for me. Steve wants the Walt and Steve Comedy Hour. Beth is all about that. Let's wrap this up. Does anyone have anything else they want to add? Wow, that is the sound of silence.
I got nothing, man.
I got some more comments here. Old Starbuck. That's the one that Shawn likes.
Dirk Benedict.
Dirk Benedict.
There is no other Starbuck.
That's where the action is. All right, folks. That's all we got. We sure do appreciate you watching us. If you see this on YouTube or anyway, please leave a like or share wherever you see this. We sure do appreciate you watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks to everyone for participating. Thanks also to Scott and to Shawn for being here, and our guest, Ronald Christian, who has a pretty cool idea for a comic. And so please go over there and check him out on that. That's all I got. We got a couple of comments here before we go. Good times.
Would y'all stop
Thank you,
typing?
Shawn.
Because he thinks he has to show every comment.
Good show. We do have to show every comment. Scott has become.
I'm gonna pay a bot to just put random things in there. Like I like cheeseburgers, and Dirk would be like, "Oh, well, thank you, Robot 71. He likes cheeseburgers."
Scott has become the thing that he complains about most. Scott
Yes.
has become the old man that he always complains about. Congratulations, Scott. Thanks to everyone for
Get
watching
off
us
my
tonight.
lawn.
We appreciate it. We'll see you guys soon. Until next time, this is Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.